A very good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Primetime News. I'm Joel Outschool. They come to you live and direct this evening from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. We start off today with a look at the headlines.
President rejects proposal to provide an allowance of 200,000 rupees to parliamentarians. Electricity bill withdrawn after Attorney General informs that it is not in accordance with the Constitution. New proposal to increase electricity costs outside the law. Mahinda meets Maithripala. What will be the decision of the SLFP and the SLPP?
Sri Lanka නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ යුතුයකමක් තියෙනවා සඳහරගත වේ.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂ සභාපතිතුමා අපේක්ෂකයා කියන එක තමයි පක්ෂයක් විදිහට අපේ මතය.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට සම්බන්ධ අපේක්ෂකයෙකුට සහයෝගය ලබා දීම අපි කරන්නේ නැහැ.
The chairman of the Elections Commission reiterates the presidential election will be held on time. Tense situation between the sand traders and area residents of Tummodara, Kantale.
Starting off with our top story this evening. Now, a series of recommendations was presented by multi-religious leaders to presidential candidates this evening under the auspices of the chief prelates of the three sectors.
The event was held at BMICH in Colombo and was attended by the Mahasangha, the chief prelates of the three sects and several multi-religious leaders. President Maithripala Sirisena, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, Opposition Leader Mahinda Rajapaksa and several ministers and MPs from the government and the opposition attended the event. The recommendations includes the amendments of the Presidential and Provincial Council Election Acts, the consideration of the qualifications of the candidates put forward for elections and the provision and monitoring of funds for election propaganda activities. The documents containing the series of recommendations were signed by multi-religious leaders. The candidate should be free from any crime, including those related to elections. It is also recommended to ensure the candidate is educationally and professionally qualified. Nominations should not be awarded to those who own permits for casinos and alcohol. It has now come to a point where aspirations and requirements of the general public are not fulfilled by most of the public representatives. This situation cannot be tolerated by the people. If there are leaders who don't take the responsibility and serve the people, it is a crime. So we would have to be mindful. When leaders of the country are weak, it leads towards the downfall of the country. We have seen how certain sectors and the political arena lacks integrity.
The rights and privileges demanded by MPs and above are endless. Even this morning I had a debate about a proposal put forward by the government about privileges enjoyed by parliamentarians. I said that I don't like the idea. It was proposed to provide 200,000 rupees to MPs in addition to the salary and bonuses they receive. I clearly said that I do not agree. A parliamentarian gets more than 400,000 rupees and I cannot agree to provide 200,000 rupees in addition. I didn't sign the proposal. If our political parties reach a common agreement, it will not be impossible to achieve what's in these recommendations.
මේ ප්‍රකාශනයේ කරුණු ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමට නොහැකි වන්නේ නැහැ.
We as a party agree with the recommendations put forward to ensure integrity in the system.
The main point here is that politics in the country failed to create an environment suitable for our future generation. Recommendations of this nature will not be present today if a proper system was in place. I think we should all look at this as something that affects us in general.
Making headlines this evening, now a tense situation arose between the area residents of Kantale, Suryapura and a group of sand traders in the area.
A group of sand traders engaged in a protest in the Kantale town, claiming that a company affiliated to state institutions is mining sand in the guise of constructing a safety bunt of the Mahavali River in the Suryapura area in Tummodara. They claim that the divisional office of the Mahavali Authority has instructed that the sand be reclaimed and sold and the funds received from selling the sand be used for renovation activities of the bunt.
The people living in Seruvilla-Kantale and Kinya in the Trincomalee district live off the sand trade. There is a large amount of money that is earned from this in this district. Do not stop this trade. The people will be affected. We ask some officials to come forward and stop this. This is a mafia. We are not going to allow outsiders to sell our resources. We were battered by a 30-year war. We lived here. We are not ready to let those who come from Colombo to take away our resources. They are deceiving the farmers, saying the front bunt is being constructed and they are mining sand. The group who are protesting marched to the location where the security bunt is being constructed after they were informed that a group of farmers and the officers attached to the divisional office of the Mahaveli Authority had arrived at the location. A tense situation broke out between the traders and the farmers after the farmers seemed to be in agreement to the decision of the officers of the Mahaveli Authority. The police and the police special task force were called to the location to control the situation. According to our correspondent, the crowd had dispersed after a decision was reached to discuss the matters between the two groups in the future.
A media briefing was convened at the police headquarters today.
The glass box covering a statue located close to Maha Hunupitiya Junction was destroyed after an individual threw a stone at it. The glass was damaged. Police immediately commenced an investigation. 5 police teams have been deployed. We are hoping to identify the suspect and arrest him. The area is peaceful now.
The nation-building tax and amendments to value-added tax proposed in the 2019 budget was approved by the Cabinet today. Accordingly, tax concessions will be effective from September this year.
Amendments, hotels, guest houses and restaurants registered with the Tourist Board that receive payments in foreign currency will be exempted from the nation-building tax. Importation of yachts and other vessels for pleasure or sports purposes will also be exempted from the nation-building tax. The exemption of NBT presently available for subcontractors in the construction industry sector will be made available to the main contractors too. In addition, this tax concession will be given to the importers of unprocessed gems as well as for palm oil manufactured locally out of imported crude palm oil. Meanwhile, the VAT rates for certain sectors have been amended. VAT will not be charged from housing projects which sells housing units for a price not exceeding 25 million rupees per unit. In addition, the locally produced rice bran oil manufactured out of locally produced red rice will also be exempted from VAT. At the same time, as proposed by the Budget 2019, the existing VAT of 75 rupees per item of garment sold locally by BOI-approved apparel companies has been increased to 100 rupees per item. All amendments will be presented to Parliament in September 2019 for ratification.
Nothing special was discussed during today's cabinet meeting. The cabinet papers were discussed. We also discussed about the process of governing the country. There is no family concept within the UNP. Decisions are not made by one set of representatives. The party will peacefully make the correct decisions. The country and its people are watching me. Even the media is watching me. Everyone is observing as to what's going on. Do not panic or rush. Everyone should engage in their regular activities with a peaceful mind. All I have to say is the truth will ultimately win.
නියැලී සිටින්න මට කියන්න තියෙන්නේ සත්‍යය කවදා හෝ ජය ගනී.
එතකොට අද කොහොමද ඔබතුමාලාගේ සහ ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ අතර
අපෝ කිරිපැණි වගේ. කිරිපැණි වගේ බොහොම හොඳට යනවා. කිසිම මේකක් නැහැ.
එතකොට කොහොමද ඔබතුමාලා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ අරබුදය දැන්?
කිසිම අර්බුදයක් නැහැ. ඔකට මවන්න හදනවා.
එතකොට දැන් සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ කරු
ඒ කිසිම අර්බුදයක් නැහැ. ඔක්කොම විසිදලා හොඳට මේ අර ජොකියා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් දාපුවාම ඊට පස්සේ අපි දාන ජොකියෝ ටික බලන්න කොහොමද කියලා.
එතකොට සන්දානය කවද්ද හැදෙන ඔබතුමාලාගේ පොදු සන්දානය?
මේ මාසේ අන්තිමට
The alliance will be formed by the final week of this month. August is not a good month. It does not have any auspicious time slots. It is a negative sign to those who plan to engage in such activities during this month. I think the alliance should be formed in September. That is the right way to do it.
මාසේ කරන්න කියලා. එතකොට ඒක තමයි හරි විදිය.
The ruling party withdrew the draft bill that was submitted to amend the Sri Lanka Electricity Act. Now, the Attorney General Department informed that the draft bill was not in accordance with the Constitution.
The Attorney General has opposed this and he has already sent you a letter. That is not all. As per the Attorney General, this draft is going to be presented today in violation to the Constitution. I make a request from the government to withdraw this and hold discussions and take a step. Speaker, it was decided to present this at the party leaders' meeting. There was no notification from the AG's department. The notice came this morning that this was not in accordance with the Constitution. I was going to withdraw this before the opposition leader was going to rise to speak. He rose up before me. We were going to withdraw it anyways. We do not want to work against the Constitution.
Point of order on 9 Now he is withdrawing, Honourable Minister.
Yes, we are not proceeding with this.
We are not proceeding with that.
Sir, we are not proceeding with it. You may adjourn Parliament.
සභාව කල් ලැබීම
Parliament හෙට සවසේකට.
Now, Chairman of the Elections Commission, Mahinda Deshapre, expressed his views regarding the upcoming elections that was following an event held in Anuradhapura.
We still believe that the provincial council elections could be held before the presidential election. However, we know that presidential elections will be definitely held between the 15th of November to the 7th of December. Therefore, if the provincial council election is to be held before the presidential election during this year, we should be informed at least within these 10 days. However, we will attempt to hold the provincial council elections at least after the presidential election is held. We request all political parties to pass a bill in Parliament.
Meanwhile, the national organizer of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Duminda Disanayake, expressed the following views regarding the presidential candidate at the party headquarters today.
As a party, our stance is that the chairman of the SLFP will be the candidate. But if we are to create an alliance or if the alliance is to broaden, we are ready to listen to the requirements of the alliance as well.
ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා පිළිබඳව දරන මතයේදී ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය තුනට කැඩලා දින්නේ.
ඇයි එහෙම කියන්නේ?
ඔබතුමා එක මතයක, දයාසිරි සමත් එක මතයක.
No, we are all of the same stance that the most suitable candidate of the SLFP is Maithripala Sirisena. We all accept that. Be it for the SLPP or the UNP, the presidential candidate will be decided based on where the SLFP stands.
ජනාධිපතිවරයා කවුද කියන එක තීන්දුව කරන්න වෙනවා.
The two parties have a policy-based agreement. There are several factors regarding the new alliance structure that should be resolved at a meeting between Mahinda Rajapaksa and President Maithripala Sirisena. The rest will take place afterwards.
Parliamentarians Nimal Siripala De Silva and Dayasiri Jayasekara attended the media briefing convened at the SLFP headquarters today.
විශේෂයෙන්ම එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂ විරෝධී පක්ෂයක් හැටියට ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය ඉදිරියටත් වැඩ කටයුතු කරන බව කියන්න කැමතියි. ඒ කාරණේ නම් අපිට කිසිම පැකිලීමක් නැතුව කියන්න පුළුවන්. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට සම්බන්ධ අපේක්ෂකයෙකුට සහයෝගය ලබා දීම අපි කරන්නේ නැහැ.
මේ දින කිහිපය ඇතුළත බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාත් මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයාත් එකතු වෙලා සාකච්ඡා කරලා මේ සම්බන්ධ අවසන් තීන්දුවකට පැමිණෙයි කියලා. ඒ අනුව තමයි අපි ඉදිරි ක්‍රියාමාර්ග පිළිබඳව සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ.
දැන් ඔබතුමාලා කියනවා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂත් එක්ක කිසි විදිහකට සංධාන ලැබීමක් හෝ වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා විරෝධී කියලා. ඔව් එහෙම ගත්තොත් ඔබතුමාට තියෙන එකම විකල්පය පොඩ්ඩක් කරමුද?
එහෙම වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්.
ඒකෝට අපි දැන් කොච්චර තර්ක කරත් මේ
නෑ එහෙම නෙමෙයි අපි කිව්වේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ අනන්‍යතාවය රැකගනිමින් අපි යන්න ඕන කියලා.
විකල්පයක් නැහැ.
ඈ?
විකල්පයක් නැහැ.
විකල්පයක් නැහැ කියන්න එපා.
එතුමාලා සාකච්ඡා කරලා නැව මීටින්. ජනාධිපතිතුමා වචනයක් කියන කාල අපිට මුකුත් ඒ ගැන කතා කරන්න බෑ. ඊයේ රාත්‍රියේ යම් හමුවීමක් සිදු වුණායි කියලා අපි දන්නවා. නමුත් එහි ප්‍රතිඵලය පිළිබඳව දැනුවත් කිරීම කරන්නේ අද ජනාධිපතිතුමා අපිත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡාවක් තියෙනවා. හවස අපේ මන්ත්‍රී කණ්ඩායම හමු වෙනවා.
මහින්ද මහත්තයා ඔබතුමාලගේ පක්ෂ සමාජිකයෙක්ද? මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ
ඔව් එක්සත් ජනතා නිදහස් සන්ධානයේ එතුමා පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීවරයෙක් ඒ වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ අනුශාසකවරයෙක් විදිහට කටයුතු කරනවා.
මේ එතුමා මේ 11 වෙනිදා එදත් පක්ෂික සමාජිකත්වයක් ගන්නවා කියලා දැනට වාර්තා වෙනවා. එවැනි තත්ත්වයක් තව මොකද පක්ෂය ගන්න තියෙන්නේ?
ඉතින් ප්‍රසිද්ධ කරනකන් ඉම්මු තික උපකල්පනයක් මත වැඩ කරන්න බෑනේ.
ප්‍රකාශයක් කරලා ජීවිතේ සමාජමය පක්ෂයේ විදිහට මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහතා පක්ෂ නායකත්වයේ බාර ගන්නවා කියලා.
ඉතින් ඒක ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය ඒකට ප්‍රායෝගික තීන්දුවක් ගන්න ඕන. සමහර තීන්දුව තියෙනවා නීත්‍යානුකූලව හරියටම ගන්න පුළුවන් තීන්දුවක් තියෙනවා. නමුත් දැන් අපි පොහොට්ටුවට ගිය 55 දෙනා ගැනත් අපි තීන්දුවක් ගත්තේ නැහනේ. අපි එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ශක්තිමත් වෙන වැඩ පිළිවෙල වලට අවතීර්ණ වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
පක්ෂයේ තියෙන නීතිය හෝ ඉවසක් නෙවෙයි ප්‍රායෝගික තීන්දුව තමයි වෙලාවට ගන්න.
හැම වෙලාවෙම නීතිය ප්‍රායෝගික වෙන්න එපයි.
දැන් ඒකට විපක්ෂ නායක දුරේ ගැන ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
විපක්ෂ නායක ධූරයේ තීරණය කරන්නේ කතානායකතුමා. කතානායකතුමාගේ අභිමතය අනුව තමයි ඒක තීන්දුව වෙන්නේ. මේ අනිත් එක තව මාස කීය තව මාස කීපයකට වෙනස් කර ඉන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ. අපි ඔය යන විදිහට යන්න.
Convening a media briefing in Colombo today, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna said it hopes to form an alliance with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ යුතුයකමක් තියෙනවා සන්දානගත වෙන්න.
සන්දානගත වුණොත් ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයෙක් ඉදිරිපත් කළොත් ඔබතුමාලා සහයෝගය දෙනවද?
ගිය පළාත් පාලන මැතිවරණයේදී
Look at the results during the previous local government elections. SLFP obtained only 1.4 million votes. A candidate should at least obtain 6.3 million votes to become president. Will SLFP be able to find the remaining 4.9 million votes? There is no issue in presenting a candidate from the SLFP. But based on previous results, it is clear that we will be defeated.
පළාත් පාලන මැතිවරණයේ ප්‍රතිඵල දිහා බලපුවා වෙන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය දාලා අපි ඔක්කොම පරදින්න.
මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා පොදුජන පෙරමුණේ නායකත්වය ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙනවා.
පැහැදිලිව එදාට නම් කරන මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා පක්ෂේ නායකත්වයට හැටියට.
එතකොට පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ තියෙන ආසනය තුමට අහිමි වෙනව නේද?
මේ වගේ තත්ත්වයන් උඩ ඔබට
Anybody can file cases under these circumstances and anything can happen. But there's only 3 months left. You know that an investigation or a disciplinary inquiry will be done in this regard in 3 to 4 months. Not a single leader is ready to conduct a disciplinary inquiry into Mahinda Rajapaksa.
විනය පරීක්ෂණයක් කරන්න මේ වෙලාවේ රටේ කවුරුත් කිසිම නායකයෙක් ලෙස්ට් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
කොහොමද අවසාන වශයෙන් මේ ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයාට මේ බිම මැතිවරණේ මේ සියලුම දේවල් කළමනාකරණය කරගෙන ජයග්‍රහණ බලාගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් කියලා විශ්වාසය තියෙනවා.
පැහැදිලි විශ්වාසයක් තියෙනවා.
We are confident that Battered Rajapaksa handles the party management. He is the main character who strategically organizes these things.
සංවිධානාත්මක මට්ටමේ බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ කියන්නේ ප්‍රධාන චරිතය අද ලංකාවේ තියෙනවා.
ඒකනේ එතුමාගේ නම දැනට තීන්දුව කළා හමාරයි.
පක්ෂයක නායකත්වයේ විසින් ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරන තුන් ප්‍රකාශ කරන එක එච්චර හොඳ නැහැනේ.
The National People's Council convened a media briefing today.
විශේෂයෙන්ම හරි වැදගත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් අපිට තිබෙනවා.
We wish to raise a question from the Rajapaksa camp as to what kind of agreements they have reached with America. Give an answer. We want to know if Gotabaya Rajapaksa is willing to make those SOFA and AXA agreements with America null and void. We are not concerned about the statements made by Uday Gammanpillai and Vimal Veeravansa. There is no point in the answers they provide. We need a straight answer. Yes, we will make it null and void when elected. Don't just come in the morning and speak when you have met the American ambassador the night before. Don't just put people like Vimal Veeravansa and Uday Gammanpillai who scream when they see the American flag. Just straight away say you are against it and we will abolish it. When election comes, don't just pretend like you are against America. What is important is that the statements made by the Rajapaksas should be straightforward.
අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයලා කියන්නේ කෙලින්ම.
Welcome back to the news. Now, a series of Armsgivings took place yesterday and today to mark the birthday of the leader of the Janasitha Peramuna, Venerable Bathrumulle Sila Ratnathero. The Armsgivings were carried out in the Kavantissa Dharma Vijaya temple in Tissamarama.
A Pirit chanting ceremony took place where 2,500 arms were presented to the Buddha statue. Several other religious activities were also held this morning. The statue was also open for devotees to pay homage. An almsgiving for 250 monks also took place in the morning. Distribution of dry rations for low-income families was also held.
Now, an event was held at the office of the State Minister of Foreign Affairs to felicitate the outgoing ambassadors of Sri Lanka.
Presided over by State Minister of Foreign Affairs Vasantha Senanayake.
The duty of a diplomat, specifically an ambassador or a high commissioner, is, I think, is akin to walking a tightrope. It is with a lot of balance and precision that you will be required, I think, on a day-to-day basis to function. When choosing a diplomat also, I think the political authorities also should choose people who are appropriate for that function. So you represent a lot more than the president. You represent Sri Lanka.
Now, people battered by wild elephant threats and neglected by authorities shared their grievances with the Gammatha team today as well.
Gammatha Gain Getter.
Located in the mid of a jungle, this is the Dimbuldena village that provides shelter to about 34 families. This village is yet another victim of the elephant-human conflict. When locals of surrounding villages chase wild elephants, these marauding beasts take shelter adjacent to this village. These villagers claim that authorities have continuously turned a blind eye to all their problems. It won't be too long until the Pahalagama village located in Mirigama becomes a flat land. Due to the operations taking place at the government-sponsored quarry adjacent to this village, wells in the area are drying. These villagers drink tears instead of water. These villagers narrated their woes to the Gammatha teams with the hope that a solution will be provided to their problems. The Gammatha teams also visited the Keenadenia, Pulhena and Daralua villages. Another Gammatha team toured the Vaunia district today. Due to the negligence of irrigation officers, cultivation land belonging to 60 families have been devastated. Villagers claim that if a proper water system for their cultivation activities is constructed, they can cultivate during the next season.
Gammatha Gain Getter.
The Auditor General's Department has presented the forensic audit report of Sri Lanka Cricket to the Secretary of the Ministry of Sports. Meanwhile, the SLC remains mum about the revelations regarding the broadcasting rights.
Newsfirst continuously reported on the financial fraud at Sri Lanka Cricket. It is now certain that $187,084.75 due to Sri Lanka Cricket for the broadcasting rights had been debited to an American account. The attempt to divert $5.5 million for the broadcasting rights of the England tour to another account stands out among the many questionable actions at SLC. Newsfirst also revealed that inaccurate answers had been provided to a question raised in Parliament regarding the broadcasting rights of the Nidahas Trophy. Providing answers, the Secretary of Sri Lanka Cricket, Mohan De Silva, had stated that $35,910 had been paid to a company, LaGuardia Sports, for the services provided. However, Newsfirst reported that in addition, $339,025 had been paid to LaGuardia Sports as a commission payment. SLC had taken measures to respond through a media release to a recent news report aired on Newsfirst. One could question as to whether the nadir terminology used in this particular press release was suitable for an institution like the SLC. The bigger question, however, is why is the SLC tight-lipped on all these allegations of massive-scale corruption? Shammi Silva, the president of Sri Lanka Cricket, and his secretary Mohan De Silva also continue to remain silent about all of this, which raises eyebrows. What is the response of the officials attached to Sri Lanka Cricket regarding the attempt to divert $5.5 million to a different account and $187,084 and 75 cents being debited into a US account? A question to the SLC President Shami Silva and Secretary Mohan De Silva. Are you not showing the same interest to issue media releases and address and respond to these issues like you have done on selective cases because you are trying to protect those who are involved in these corrupt activities?
Well, on that note, we've wrapped this edition of Primetime News. More news follows on our award-winning website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Take care. Good night.